Some things come with labels that read, "One size fits most." Does one teaching style fit most too? One teaching style may provide a stellar fit for some learners, but find others hopelessly lost in a wealth of excess material. Another style may fit some participants to the proverbial T, but be stretched thin on the remainder of the class. David Kolb's Learning Styles Inventory is based on his experiential learning model. According to this model, learning is based on concrete experience, observation of and reflection on that experience, formation of abstract concepts based upon the reflection, and testing the new concepts, followed by repetition of these 4 steps. Kolb's Learning Style Inventory is one of several learning style models that have been developed. Other examples include Catherine Cook Briggs and Isabel Briggs Myers' Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, Richard Felder's and Linda Silverman's Felder-Silverman Learning Style Model, Neil Fleming's and Colleen Mills' VARK, A Guide to Learning Styles, and a number of other models designed to help instructors understand how they and their students learn. Kolb presented 4 learning styles in his Learning Styles Inventory: accommodating, assimilating, converging, and diverging. Kolb's intent was to develop a holistic framework with which to approach teaching and learning. Kolb used axes as a basis for this framework. He positioned perceiving dimensions, concrete experience or feeling, and abstract conceptualization or thinking, on a vertical axis. Kolb placed processing dimensions, active experimentation or doing, and reflective observation or watching, on a horizontal axis. Each of the learning types falls into one of the quadrants, demonstrating a blend of a perceiving and a processing dimension. Kolb perceived his learning styles as indicators of dominant learning tendencies, not a strict method to use in defining an individual's learning style. Ultimately, there is a subtle and complex relationship between learning and individual abilities and problem-solving skills. Kolb also recognized that most people are not exclusively one kind of learner. The accommodating learner occupies the upper left quadrant of Kolb's framework, between the concrete and active axes, indicating a preference for combining feeling or intuition with doing. Accommodators prefer to participate in controlled situations and are doers, people who can carry out plans and get involved with new projects. According to Kolb's Learning Skills Profile, accommodators are associated with action, initiative, leadership, and relationship skills. The converging learner is in the lower left quadrant of Kolb's framework, between the abstract and active axes, indicating a preference for combining thinking with doing. Converging learners excel at technical tasks. Their greatest strengths are problem-solving, decision-making, and the practical application of ideas. Kolb's Learning Skills Profile attributes converging learners with action, goal-setting, technology, and quantitative skills. The assimilating learner is in the lower right quadrant of Kolb's framework, between the reflective and abstract axes. Assimilators prefer thinking and watching. They like to solve problems by inductive reasoning. Assimilating learners tend toward theoretical professions and are less concerned with people than ideas. According to Kolb's Learning Skills Profile, assimilators are associated with quantitative, theory, information analysis, and information gathering skills. The diverging learner occupies the upper right quadrant of Kolb's framework, between the reflective and concrete axes. Diverging learners are people-oriented and tend to rely on watching and feeling, or intuition. This type of learner solves problems by taking risks and is best at generating alternative ideas and imaginative solutions. Kolb's Learning Skills Profile associates diverging learners with information gathering, sense-making, help, and relationship skills. These brief descriptions of Kolb's 4 learning styles demonstrate both similar and diverse tendencies among the learning styles. Styles that adjoin each other on Kolb's framework may benefit from similar teaching styles. Those in diagonally opposing quadrants require different, yet supporting approaches. Therefore, teachers and trainers should identify and understand their students' learning styles in order to design programs that address the learning process as a whole. For instance, trainers should take the Learning Styles Inventory themselves in order to have an understanding of how their respective learning styles affect their personal teaching styles. The Learning Styles Inventory provides a framework to examine one's own approach to learning situations and, depending on the learning material and situation, one's own strengths and weaknesses. By being aware of these factors, trainers are better prepared to apply them to create effective training programs. For instance, trainers should vary their teaching techniques in order to address the different learning styles. Trainers should also consider using learning modalities that acclimate participants to learning styles other than the one each prefers. Becoming accustomed to using other learning styles reduces learning barriers created by inflexibility of personal learning styles. There are times when trainers have to compensate for a restrictive training topic or facilities they cannot rearrange. In such cases, incorporating strategies, resources, or other aids will help learners to work in another learning style without first gaining the skills needed for that style. The best strategy for these situations is to find alternatives to overcome the weaknesses. Trainers who will be working with the same group of participants over an extended period of time may include new learning style skills in their overall programs. To do so, the trainer develops training strategies that will assist the learner in developing greater strength of skill in another learning style. Providing even a minimal level of competence in an additional learning style helps the person learn more effectively and may reduce potential need for compensation in future sessions. Last but not least, trainers should remember that Kolb's learning style inventory is based on his experiential learning model. Use of this model reiterates and reinforces the material being taught and encourages focus on each of the 4 learning styles. The experiential learning model also provides opportunities to use a variety of teaching strategies, helping to maintain participant interest and involvement. In summary, Kolb's learning style inventory describes 4 learning styles: accommodating, assimilating, converging, and diverging. These learning styles indicate dominant learning tendencies which are not fixed traits but a manner in which the mind operates. Additionally, most people do not exclusively learn using a single style. In order to effectively address the different learning styles of training program participants, trainers must be aware of their own learning styles and the effect of their individual learning styles on their respective teaching methods. By using this knowledge, trainers are better able to address the training needs of their students. Strategies trainers may use to design effective training programs include varying teaching techniques, compensating for not addressing a learning style or styles when necessary, and introducing skills needed for non-preferred learning styles. Last but not least, use of Kolb's experiential learning model will help trainers incorporate teaching techniques that are designed to maintain participant interest and involvement.